Thank you, ma'am. Dr. P.V. Kumar, sir, you address the participants. Good morning. Everybody, Dr. Pawar, sir. Dr. Innagration, sir. Yes, Pawar. Our director, Dr. Benson, our parents, and participants. I would like to highlight about computer engineering department. Department have organized this workshop, today's workshop on national education. So, for all the participants, I would like to tell you that computer admits to scores more than 95% safety score, and this college is known for its rigorous teaching learning process and good teamwork. This department is accredited by National Board of Accreditation consecutively 4 times since beginning. And as a result, we produce rankers every year in the university, including the first rank in university across all 130 colleges, all departments. As a result, students get highest packages ranging from 4 lakh to 44 lakhs. Last year in Ahmedabad, we received 44 lakhs package. And our alumni presence is spreading across the globe, working with Amazon, then Facebook, Microsoft, Oracle. I would like to highlight that we have started autonomy. Our first batch is in final year now, 8th semester. And I'm proudly saying that for 95% students are in industry now during their 8th semester. We offer track-based education. 4 tracks we offer in final year. 1 track is industry internship. Then research and higher studies, those who are willing to go for higher studies, there is a separate track and related subject in that track. There is an entrepreneurship track, there is a regular track. Computer engineering department is also as a model center for spoken tutorials by IIT Bombay. We provide international certifications to our students from Microsoft, Coursera, edX, and very recently we have established Apple Lab. I request all the participants within these 2 days at least to visit our Apple Lab, which is very nicely established recently. Apart from industry internship, our students are also doing internship in Taiwan and the University of Malaysia and the National University of Singapore. For overall development of students, we You focus on professional body chapters, which have ACM chapter, SI chapter, ITM chapter, student chapter in the department. Also, apart from academics, to more boost the morale of students, there are activity club, very good activity club. There is a sports club, arts and crafts club for overall development, then coding club, which are very active clubs in this department. So this is about the department. Today we have gathered here for this 2 days workshop on NEP. I know many of you are having several questions in your mind after the announcement of National Education Policy. Okay. Inherent in the system, in the colleges, what is there in the teacher, for teacher in this education policy, what is there for the student, and most importantly, what needs to be done for its successful implementation of this new education policy 2020. These questions are legitimate and necessary. Therefore, we all have gathered here in this program so that we can discuss it and make the way forward. So we have planned this workshop in 6 sessions with the expertise from industry and by the title what we have given industry, academia, linkage. So I hope in these 2 days, all these participants, this workshop will be very informative and very fruitful to you. So this is from my side. I would like to tell you about 6 sessions. There is a session from Dr. There is a session by Dr. Sir. What are the opportunities in life getting in higher education? Then after lunch break, we have 3rd session by Mr. Atul Benegiri on research, idea, and entrepreneurship opportunities. And tomorrow we have session by Dr. Mukul Sir, Vice Chancellor, COEP Technological University, for best practices. Then session 5. This is our schedule, 2 days schedule. So, wish you all the best. Take as much as possible about NEP. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for providing the insights of computer engineering department. Now, I would like to call upon our respected director, Dr. R.K. Jain, sir, who have been consuming himself to light others with the pride of this institute, and we all are honored to have him as our director. Now, I request sir to share his views on NEP.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome there, and the senior most academician, Dr. A.J. Pawar sir, Dr. Deshmukh, and we all know that Pawar sir is ours. Whenever we request him to come, so I don't want to give much about him, but since Deshmukh sir is coming first time with us, Deshmukh sir is presently Dean of Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth, is my Dean for Science. Dr. Kumar, head of the department and convener for this course, Dr. Muzumdar, Dr. Sangre, all the deans, HODs, my faculty members, and dear participants. Indeed, it's a great pleasure and honor to welcome all of you here and to try to understand what is NEP 2020. I was requesting, sir, in fact, when I was with you, sir, we all are so far confused from where to start, how to start, and how we can give best to the student through the NEP. And I know to remove my confusion, when they have teacher like Dr. Pawar, I hope that at the end of this workshop, we are going to take away a lot of things. Because I have already implemented a point, lot of things in the vice chancellor of development industry. So I really once again congratulate bringing Dr. Pawar sir here, and he will be a great motivator and source for inspiration for all of us. Being autonomous college, we know we have a lot of responsibility. Responsibility, one of the important responsibilities, we should be always startup ready. Industry is implementing industry 4.0, and now they are talking about industry 5.0. So when we started industry 4.0, almost prior to that, we started our autonomy. I can say we have taken the education 4.0 as a base, and we started our autonomy in 1920. And I give you some of the important points of, you can say, highlights of autonomy which we have taken. That time there was no point of autonomy. You see, NEP, I'm telling you, NEP started in 2020. We started autonomy in 1920, and it's 2019. So we have already started many things. It's a really part of NEP. We started first thing that we feel that our students should be having best curriculum, and for making the one of the best curriculum, we have taken for every department one of the mentor. The mentor we decided either institution from national level, maybe IIT or NIT, or maybe from food industry, which are really having international background. For example, for civil engineering, sir, IIT Indore. They are our mentor. They are working with us, and we are going to sign a MOU because of sir this Corona. They could not get so close, but I think now within 2-3 months, we'll be finally becoming partner. They are already helping us. We have got sir from IST Bangalore, Dr. Ashish Verma, who is man of transportation known in the country. He is our technical council, and he is one of the main parts of the department. And Dr. Rai she was married, and she was already got transportation with Ashish Verma. So we are working with Ashish. Students are already working in IST Bangalore on intensive. So this is what we do for civil. Similarly for mechanical engineering, sir, already we have MOU from last 4 years from IIT Ropar. We have taken IIT Ropar as our mentor for mechanical engineering. Simple, sir. For IIT Ropar, IIT Delhi was a mentor because it was new IIT. So for curriculum design, IIT Delhi was helping to IIT Ropar. But when we came to know about IIT Ropar, sir, they have made one of the best curriculum in the country today. And they got many awards for that. And one of the papers I have seen in the Nature on curriculum design and pedagogy. So by looking at that paper, by discussing with our management, we agreed to be joined together. And I proudly say that you are helping us in our 3 years. But last week, my team, under Mr. Dr. Joshi and me, myself and another faculty member, visited IIT Ropar. We have signed MOU with them. Their director was very keen and happy to know the college. Whatever thing I am telling you to be informed, him also was very impressed, and he has given consent that he will come in 20 days to Pune, or maybe G20 is there in Pune. You know, this conference is part of that. In that G20 he is coming anyway. He will visit the institution, and he is very eager to know what we are doing in the NEP. Computer IT, sir, we are partner of TCS and Infosys and Consistent. So these people are regularly supporting us in making the curriculum design. We have many workshops at those places, and faculty from industry person from those institutions, they are regularly coming for designing the curriculum, especially for one of the course we have CFBS now. Computer Science and Business History. Dr. Molkar is actually for that. So this is course is of 2nd year. 100% of per person curriculum is given by TCS. They have implemented. Similarly, for electrical and electronics department, so we have taken one direct track from KPIT. KPIT, we know that it is known for automation, and we have taken the MOU with the KPIT, and now they are helping us in for students, there are 26, but he started this, association last 2 years back only. And last year, APIT has taken 100 students from mechanical, electrical and electronics. That is all. So, one of the important point which NEP says that this should have put linkage with the industry. But I proudly say that so this is what we have decided in 2019. And I think we are implementing that. And second important part, students should have skill development. For bringing good skills to the students, we have decided to have 6 month internship. So we have got about 1,000 students in final year, and I proudly say that except few students, those who are not keen to go for industry, they have taken a different track of either working in the college regularly, or maybe they have planned to go to US or maybe foreign countries. They have not decided that track. So out of 1,000, we can say 900 students they have given internship. They are working in industry for 4 months. And I proudly say that technical and civil department, these two departments are big strengths. So they about 200 students of these two departments already completed successfully internship, and many of them are getting the now offers because they work in the industry for 4 to 5 months. Almost 10 students from civil engineering, those who worked in last semester, so they got offers and they have joined. Similarly for mechanical, 20 to 25 students after successful completion of internship, they started the industry, joined the industry. So this is what we say. NEP has given, if we implement real honesty, result will be our student will be very well equipped and they will be honored and respected by the industry based on their competency. So we have done the curriculum so far, sir. Important point of NEP is you have to give maximum flexibility to the learner. And sir, when we started our in this autonomy, Dr. Agarwal, who was chairman for NBA, he came here and he told one sentence, and I that sentence I always remember. Then sir, your real autonomy is one where every student at the college will be having separate marks. He should be proud to say to the interviewer, to the industry, to the parents, to the society, my mark sheet is totally different than other 59 students in the class. So this is what we are trying. We are offering a lot of electives. We are offering a lot of major and minor courses. Already we have got minor and major courses. At least 2 courses for every department. We are also offering major and minor courses for interdisciplinary nature also. Student for electronics also can join. For ELTC department, computer can join, mechanical department. We are offering such courses also. So this is another part of, we can say, NEP we already implemented in our college. Again, the result of this thing is when a student goes to a civil engineering the aim of joining the IT industry because of this elective courses and interdisciplinary courses. For example, we have minor in computer systems or civil engineering department. So they learn almost 20 credit. I learned this minor course and they can get civil engineering with minor computer system. So these things are very helping the students. And so those students who have taken this minor, they are getting good job in IT industry. So there are many points which we already implemented, but these are some different pieces. But here now, sir, we have completed 4 years. After 4 years, we are now second cycle of autonomy. You can say curriculum we decided in 1920, we implemented, we have closed 1 cycle. And out of 4 years, 2 years were just given the lockdown. So just we worked only 2 years really on the what we have aimed in the beginning. But now, sir, 23-24, we have started the process of again revision of the curriculum. Our board of studies have they have already one meeting. They already decided the structure, and now we are working on detailing of the syllabus. So this is the right time where these two dignitaries are here. They can guide my board of studies chairmen, those who are present here, all the good chairmen are here. They will be taking from you how we can make our curriculum useful to the student, more contemporary as per the society and industry, and how we can give practices to our students. So we can want to learn some one student of this college from NPCA computer. So they are today in the Taiwan. They are doing 4 month internship in Taiwan from the university. But out of what two students decided after the internship to go to US. But after visiting Taiwan, remaining 15-20 days there, by seeing the university, they called me once, sir, we can continue our even MS from this country and from this university because this is one of the best university, and even in the ranking also. This is what we are giving exposure. So even now, from when everything was closed, about 150 students from this college have taken online internship from one of the KYPN, there is one university in Thailand, Bangkok. So they offered internship to our students online, and it was again for all branches. So we think even we have taken the full advantage of the laptop once where student has learned a lot. Also has given the certificate of best user in terms where it was free. We motivated our students to learn from online sources, and we got the best user certificate from them. So I think with this background I have given you what we are doing. We are doing this because it is in bits and pieces. Now we have to implement it really. So far, there is no guideline from any government agency for implementation of autonomy for engineering colleges or engineering courses. Lot of discussion is still going on, but I think you are the better person to guide us how we can implement from 23-24 user curriculum. And our student will be taken by the industry to respect, and student will be known as a, they have employability skills. Otherwise, we say just 4% or 10% or 50% students are only employable. But here I proudly say that our most students are getting regular jobs. And Dr. Pawar sir is a witness because sir is studying in this college and sir is studying MBA or is working in one of the industry in Bombay. So I think we are giving to the children. And I think with this culture, we can do better. So thank you very much for second, sir. Thank you for the guests for accepting my request. And we have students here for you, sir, our inviters, or we can do anything. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening words. Now I would like to request Professor Shabana Pizar to introduce our today's chief guest, Dr. N.J. Pawar.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed chief guest for today's function, Dr. N.J. Pawar. Dr. N.J. Pawar is the Vice Chancellor of Dr. D.Y. Patil Vidyapith from 2019 to up till now, and has achieved remarkable success and recognition for his contribution to geology. His education qualification includes MSc in Geology and PhD in Geology from University of Pune. He has contributed immensely to the fields of higher education, teaching and research, especially in terms of his specialization in hydrogeology and environmental geochemistry. Dr. N.J. Pawar has worked as a teacher, researcher and academic administrator in a professional career for 35 years. Young Scientist Award, instituted by Indian Science Congress Association for his research work in 1980. He has published more than 75 research papers, edited 4 research volumes, 2 abstract volumes, and translated 2 books on popularization of science, besides several popular articles. He brings a wealth of experience and knowledge to his gathering, and we are fortunate to have him here with us today to share his insights and wisdom. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our chief guest, Dr. N.J. Pawar. Now, I would request our Honorable Principal Sir, Dr. R.K. Jain Sir, to kindly state Dr. N.J. Pawar. Chodi sir, Dr. P.D. Barkar sir, to present our token of gratitude, Dr. Dilip Deshmukh. Now I request Dr. N.J. Pawar sir to take over the charge and begin with the session.
Good morning, all of you. Principal of SPF, Shahu College of Engineering. And my friend and associate for case, Dr. Jain. The invited speaker for this is Dilip Deshmukh, the organizer of this particular faculty development workshop. Dr. Marcus, Dr. Kujunda, fellow faculty members, HODs, participants, and my dear friends. At the outset, let me take the opportunity of congratulating Dr. Jain and for having given me an opportunity to be here on this occasion. Wherein the teaching faculty itself is largely confused about as to how we can about implementing the new national education policy 2020. And therefore, it is very difficult occasion that so this particular sensitization workshop, the teachers will be sensitized, trained, and also guided with the help of various experts in the field of education regarding implementation of NEP 2020. I'm really very happy also to note that day by day the academic achievements of this particular college, they are going up. And I appreciate the leadership of Dr. Jain for taking steps in terms of providing best of the best facilities as well as teaching learning support to the students, because of which large number of students of this college are doing wonderful job in various sectors and giving new kind of leadership to those kinds of sectors, either in the industry or in the society or in the enterprise. So my compliments to Dr. Jain as well as all his faculty members for this particular achievement. Let me now come to the topic of this discussion and deliberations. See, NEP 2020 came into force now nearly 2 years are about to get over. And then we have to see as to what kind of earlier policy existed, what kind of changes in the new policy are made. We as Indians are very good in making policies. But most of the time we are, as a nation, as a society, are failure in terms of implementation. And therefore, we do not want to repeat those old stories in terms of good policies coming out through lot of deliberations, discussions, lot of intellectual input by the experts. But there should be also a very strong path for implementation of it. And therefore, it should be a collective vision which should prevail, at least in the education sector in terms of implementation of this. And therefore, we do not want to repeat the failure stories of the past, but we want to ensure that we are equally good in terms of implementation of new education policy. That is the kind of assurance that we have to give to the planners and decision makers, so that everything that comes out through the intellectual exercise by the experts is also taking say in terms of its implementation at the root level. That is what we have to ensure. See, 1986, if you look at the policy consisted of three different buzzwords: access, dignity, quality. For many years, we deliberated, discussed on it, and also we tried to look at all these three aspects: access, equity, quality. And therefore, if you really see today's, I would say the GR of the country, then it has gone up to 28.3 or around that. The efforts made during last 2-3 decades or 4 decades have culminated into improving and enhancing the GR. And therefore, that is something which is also the outcome of 86 policy. Access. Equity. There were many sections of the society who were deprived of the education. We have tried to reach out to all those sections of the society, see to it that there is equitable access to the education. And therefore, we have partly become successful in that. In terms of quality, what we have achieved is in terms of accreditation by NAC, accreditations of the programs by the NBA, and also now the ranking and rating process. So these are all quality types of landmarks, and therefore, if you really look, all the engineering programs of Rajeshri Shahu College are NBA accredited. That means there is some quality achievement in terms of implementation of these programs. Similarly, the college itself is accredited, and therefore there is a quality landmark which is achieved by the college. Beyond this, what is there? Beyond this, there is also a ranking process which is at the national level, which is an IRF. And therefore, consistently and continuously, the institutions have to participate, either colleges or universities, they have to participate in the ranking process to ensure that they are achieving higher levels of the quality of the delivery of the education. And third thing is that what beyond? Beyond this, there is the international ranking and rating, where we also have to participate as either university or college to see that where we stand in terms of global scenario. And therefore, all these are in terms of so access, equity, quality. These are three aspects which we have ensured. Maybe partially, in some cases, there are hotspots of the quality, but in some cases, there are still lot of efforts need to be made. Now, what really is there in NEP 2020? NEP 2020 has 5 different attributes. 3 of them remain from the old policy, that is access, equity, quality. But in this, there are 2 more attributes which are added, and that is accountability and affordability. And therefore, every teacher, every institution will be made accountable for their achievements or failures. And therefore, accountability issue has come. And then also, in terms of affordability, there is a hell lot of privatization of education which is taking place. And therefore, we have to ensure that the education is also affordable. Why? Because we have signed the treaty, GATT, 1990. Ever since that, the status of education has changed. Till then, it was social good. It was for the social benefit of the society, and it was considered as responsibility of the state or national government to provide education. Since 1990, the status of education has undergone change. Now, the education is a commodity. Education can be marketed. Education can be sold, and therefore it is a commercial good. So, same as any other commodity, education itself has changed its status, and therefore we have to accordingly think that, yes, sir, if it is so, then education, whether it can be provided, which is affordable. That is there in the NEP 2020. The 5 attributes are very important, which we have to take into consideration. What is the change? Fundamental change in the structure. What was the structure before? 10, 2, 3. 10 plus 2 plus 3. Now what is it there? 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. That is the structural change in the education policy. And therefore, whole system has to now respond to the new structure. There will be big challenges, I tell you, in terms of manpower requirements, in terms of infrastructure requirement, in terms of other supporting structure requirement. This is itself is a big challenge, not only before us, it is before all the institutions, whether government or self-government, as well as the government. It is the biggest challenge because the old structure has to be totally built out and new structure has to be made in place, and therefore that's something which is a challenge. What is being envisioned in this country? These 3 types of institutions we also this. Teaching institutions, research institutions, and degree awarding autonomous colleges, say the college, if it is autonomous college. So you have all the liberty, all the flexibility in terms of implementation of the program. And therefore, how best you can use the autonomy and also liberty in terms of implementation of NEP 2020 to be very seriously. For example, NEP wants to see that outcome-based education is completely implemented. And therefore, this is where engineering faculty, AICTE is pioneer. All POs, COs, mapping of POs, COs is all done by all the professional programs, those which fall under AICTE. So this leads to this by other streams also in terms of defining POs, COs, and also having mapping in place. And therefore, that outcome-based education across other faculties, maybe it is science faculty, maybe it is arts faculty, maybe it is humanities, maybe it is any other. So that kind of education has to be provided, which is based. Parallel to this is I am working in the medical university now. It is a competency-based curriculum which is in place. And therefore, what are the competencies that are attained by the graduate which is coming out from the medical college, and that has to be also thought of. And therefore, those competencies in terms of diagnostic skills, in terms of surgical skills, in terms of critical thinking, in terms of logical thinking, in terms of problems, everything has to be properly defined. That is what NMC, that is National Medical Commission, or DCI, Dental Commission of India, all these bodies think, which is aligned to what is being done by UGC, AICTE, and other bodies. And therefore, we have to see how we can really implement this kind of. Now, there are many kinds of diversity which existed in the past. For example, meeting-based system was not existent in many universities. Semester system was not existent in many universities. Or there are some bodies, regulatory bodies, which are still not allowing. For example, in medical, it is not allowed to have semester system. It is not allowed to have the examination which is credit-based. But now there is some flexibility which is also thought of by the NMC, and therefore there is some kind of courses which can be offered, which are choice. So those choices are given at least for the FDMS. Similarly, we have to think that all faculties are at par with each other, therefore CBCS has to be in all the universities, in all the institutions. That is something across all faculties. Then what is changed? Structure itself is changed. There are many universities across India, there are many institutions across India which are single faculty. What is that? For example, I studied in a college because we only would be one faculty college, science college. Studied at Kerala. Then it was the reputed college, the science college Kerala was not during that time, so I got admission there and I studied there. But it's a single faculty college. Now, new education policy doesn't want to encourage such kind of single faculty colleges or universities. If at all they are there, they have to see that they convert into multi-faculty. When they convert into multi-faculty, what are the challenges? For example, the college where I study is a single faculty which is supported by the government. Anudadit. It is financed by the government. Now, if they want to get into other faculties, maybe it is arts, maybe it is commerce, maybe it is any other. The challenges, and whether these challenges, whether if they want to enter into self-finance good, whether it will be possible for them to sustain. Sustenance will be a big challenge for them, particularly for non-professional courses. And therefore, this is the challenge which we have to think twice. If we want to diversify, and therefore we have to see in a phase-wise manner, if some single faculty college or university wants to start new faculty. For example, we are a health science university where I am working. It is pure physiotherapy, nursing and those. Now what we have to do in terms of changing this scenario into multi-faculty university. And therefore, as an example, I would like to quote that we have already started. Number one, School of Liberal Arts. So directly, dance, drama, music, everything is available to us. Already that is in place. So partly NEP 2020 is implemented in class. Next, School of Design. So that's a professional course under AICT. So School of Design we have started. So we are continuing to multi-faculty university. Third, School of Science and Technology. So science stream as well as the professional stream, they can come together. School of Science and Technology. So we have started diversifying into other faculties so that we become multi-faculty university from single health science faculty into multi-faculty university. That is the way we have to see. How we will have to follow all the structure, statutory structure of the university. Being in a university, I would direct all my colleagues to pass all these processes through a particular. Right now, if you want to start the School of Liberal Arts, have your ad hoc board in place. That is the first step. Invite the college people in that. One of our faculty member, one who is the director of Liberal Arts, and the speaker got the fellowship with the auspicious hands of the President of India. And so he got that fellowship. And therefore, this is the kind of way in which we have to see that the board is constituted. Once that particular board and our board is constituted, then we decide as to how we would like to implement the provisions of new policy. What are the provisions in the new policy? 4-year programs. So from 3 years, we have to see 4-year programs in short term. And therefore, in your board studies, you have to make provision that yes, you want to start 4-year program in liberal arts and therefore define curriculum accordingly. This should be credits accordingly. It should be credit based, it should be semester pattern, it should be 4-year program with the provision for lateral exit and lateral exit. Now, this is something which is also crucial because moment for an institution like this, for an institution where I am working, the moment person from professional branch, maybe engineering college, if he wants to have exit after first year because he wants to get some experience also, what will be its impact? You have to think in terms of policy how it is going to impact. Maybe 1% or 2% students go. It is total loss of revenue for the institution. Revenue will become a challenge unless you get replacement to that. Got the point? The second year, lateral exit. So first year certificate, second year diploma, third year degree. As simple as that. So you have to make provisions in the board with such a structure for 4 years in place with well-defined exit policy, well-defined entry policy. If somebody wants to come and clear now, first year and join second year, maybe from some other institution, what kind of provisions are there? And therefore, for lateral exit, lateral entry, you have to think, make the provisions. But I personally feel, with my experience of 4 decades, that for any professional institution, it will be simply impossible. If a person NFC will not allow, I know, because I have been to the now. That if a guy with 1 year of experience for MBBS, first year done, but he will go outside and do. Second year, he will finish and can he do anything? Unless he gets his degree, he will not be allowed. His registration has to take place at the government level. Then only he will get that registration certificate, license to practice. So there are very defined parameters, and therefore, although these provisions are there, exactly these provisions can be implemented. That has to be very thoughtfully discussed, and then measure needs to be followed. For example, in engineering college, can any student go out and practice? Can he get certificate to practice, for example, civil engineering? Without doing BE civil, he would not get any kind of certificate to practice. He has to register. So these are challenges. Policy is good, but implementation, these are typical challenges. But those who are desirous, can we do anything? 81% schools, can we do anything? We have to make provision. If 1% students go out, then in that case, what is the likely impact of the field for a self-management? One MBBS student goes out, means 1 crore. Simple logic. You will see is for 4.5 years. How much to that? It is more than that. So if it is so, it is straightforward. How can an institution which is self-managed, and now we are into CAD, where we are encouraging education as a community, which is sellable. So in this particular scenario, arise out of this, and therefore we have to think that there are certain streams where is it possible. For example, liberal arts we have started. With 1 year certificate, somebody can go out and perform dance, earn his livelihood, and then make his name. While doing that, he was to again after years experience, 2 years experience, wants to come back and go for drama. It's okay because it's the same line which is continuing, additional line. The performance is possible after certificate. You got the point. You have to see that these are the major bills of providing them opportunity in terms of flexibility. See, all this policy, NEP 20 is encouraging every institution to provide maximum flexibility to the student, which is very well expected. There's a lot of pedagogical changes also expected in terms of implementation. Because POs and everything which we talk, what is the pedagogical change that we are envisaging while teaching and learning? See, I remember my days, I used to draw the board from this end to this. So A, this is B. Draw a line, measure the distance. So I will write T, I will put T, distance upon time, this velocity. So it will be done on board. That was the pedagogy with which I taught all my students that distance upon time is equal to velocity. So now I have to imbibe the concept, but with the help of drawing the line on the board with a chalk. Now that pedagogical method of teaching has what will be the new way of teaching? Where teacher as well as student gets involved. Teacher will call student, come ahead. Teacher himself will go. Let's take this as a point. Walk from this to that. Both of them will walk. Ask third student to record the time. Fourth student measure the distance that they walk. And then they will say, okay, this much distance teacher and student have walked together. It is 10 meters. And now, what is the time? The fourth student will tell time is 5 seconds. And therefore, 10 upon 5 is 2 meters per second is the velocity with which both of them have. That is the pedagogical change. Try to understand. Where both teacher and student they get involved, and when both of them they got involved, the kind of concept that is imbibed lifelong that student are going to forget only because he is meant to walk in the class. Got the point? Whereas I was teaching, I'm an outgoing generation teacher, I was teaching them the concept of determining velocity with the help of drawing a line on the book. And then telling it is the point A, point B, and then X is traveling from A to B, and this is the E, and this is the T, and therefore it will be. So formula is this is the formula which is trying to derive, and this is the pedagogical. It's trying to understand what really is, right? And therefore, in this all these abilities, they will try to look into how they are actually being imbibed and how he meant to think, how he meant to act. And that is something which is also a tremendous change in the policy. Let me also give you some idea in terms of other provisions. Other provisions, number one, is the affiliation system. If we are going to go, this college was affiliated. Now it is autonomous. One step ahead. Now, when you go for this kind of change, let me inform that all the universities, state universities, they are financially in a very sound position. If you look at the university, financially it is sufficient. I would say that yes, sound. If you go to Dubai University, yes, I will say I myself in 5 years of my tenure would generate 100 crores savings for the Dubai University. Only by savings and some kind of expenditure outside parameters, and only because of kinds of sections which are running in some. One is examination and second one is application. These are only two components which give you surplus to the university. I'm telling you the truth because I have handled it. When this thing happens, tomorrow you are going to implement this one because there are big challenges. When you are going to implement the concept of pre-affiliation, degree awarding autonomous institutions. The Rajeshri Chawla College is now degree awarding autonomous institution. Got the point? Now, everything that was being collected by Pune University from the Rajeshri Chawla College of Engineering in terms of what? For example, okay, autonomy 5 years of affiliation fee might be given because we collect. But at the same time, you had a loss of revenue through the examination. Because that revenue is going to come to, so we have to have certain kind of audience in place. But I think that audience in place, some amount of expenditure which we incurred, part of it has to, or some amount of revenue, part of it will. But what will those parties? I know that there are colleges, Sangam, Apollo. These are the colleges which are serving the needs of the society. Now, NEP 2020 envisions that by 2035, GR from 28.3 will become 50 quantum jump. For the last 60, 70 years, we have been struggling and we have achieved 28.3 and we want to now have quantum jump. It will not be possible also from 28.3 to 50% by the year 2035. See, what is the model now that is being thought of? The model which is thought of in terms of providing online education. We have Center for Online Education in DPU. So online education is provided to whom? If I give you the statistics, 90% of those who are learners in the online learning mode, they are all employed people. Because they want to upgrade themselves by increasing their qualifications. If this is the scenario and reality at the implementation level, what we are envisaging quantum jump in GR by way of making online education provision for the learner. In that case, you know the it is a old learner. Yeah, it's counted there. And therefore, 90%. And therefore, whether we will be able to really achieve this year 50% by 2035 itself in the picture. So, see, what we try to do, right, is in the policy we plan something that this is the target, this we try to achieve. Ground reality when you see that there are two takers for online learning, those who are say that not graduates, only some component. I will go to the example of evaluation. We have some 70,000 students, industrial distance learning. Who were they? They were all army jawans. 80% of them were army jawans who were joined after 10th or 12th. And they were into the army at the borders, but they had desire to have a degree maybe for personal purposes. Those are needed to be counted in terms of enhancement in CR, but for other courses which are there on already, they are graduates or graduates that they want to do something for achieving higher position in their organization. Therefore, 90% of them are already applied and they are already graduates. Therefore, this year, which we are expecting quantum jump to online learning goal, is a question mark whether we will be able to achieve or not. But let's start make that we are making efforts that. There are some kinds of issues that I don't need to. And similarly in GVR, there is one important and vital component which are more social related. I worked in Shivaji University for 5 years, I have worked in Pune University for 35 years. I know both the universities, they have a large number of areas which are mountainous, sometimes tribal, and the local population, small villages, or academic students, they have no provision for road even. And these wise and that area choose nearest destination for them. For example, I will give you Radhanagari. Highly mountainous area, small, 50, 100 people work, small villages. Now, I looked at the scenario and compared. We want to increase year on one. We are making provision of online learning. But at the same time, there is one college in Radhanagari where the total strength of the students is about 50 to 300. But you cannot underestimate that particular college's potential to contribute for increasing the year. It is because of that particular college is that needed, the access to education is provided by that. Because of provision of access to education, they are contributing to increasing GR. There are many colleges like this. And if now with cluster college concept, if we want to have the policy where 3,000 plus is a mandate for a college to exist, otherwise they will be 3,000 plus is a mandate under the cluster system. In the hilly area, there are no colleges. One single college I am just telling you. If you go to Chhattisgarh, 10% GR is not there. If you go to Jharkhand, there is no 10% GR. One college at a district level. I have gone as a NAC assessor at many places. In Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand. One college at district level. If that is the destination of the boys and girls of the district, imagine the amount of travel that they have got to go. And they are contributing for this year enhancement, which we are envisioning. And that is how we are reached to 820. If tomorrow, because it is not 10,000 plus, the very existence of college will be challenged, and how to turn that into a multi-faculty college will be a big issue. Because it is affordable for them. Unless government makes such kind of military colleges, such kind of scenarios, there has to be some kind of. Now it's one provision that we have. With 4-year degree program, if a student wants to have a degree and go for lateral, yes, 3 years, good enough, you will get it. 4th year, if you want to continue. In that case, your master's program will be of one education. This provision is going to help students in terms of flexibility, in terms of going with pace and speed. But one has to also think in terms of student scenario. See, with the liberation of education and signing of the act, if you look around the globe, they made money like anything. One of the countries, UK, which is a pioneer in the academics right from centuries ago, they immediately turned their master's program into 1-year master's program. 2 different batches on revenue of the bit, as simple as that. But now, I think 1-year master's program in engineering of never had a parent from India. In fact, during Shivaji University, my territory, for example, there were many boys and girls there is no approach because they were not given equivalence, they could not be appointed as a faculty. Because university is 1 year, our 2 years. In fact, I wrote to ambassador of UP and invited him for a program. I discussed this issue has to be solved. He simply said, "Sir, we have signed gap. We are part of the gap treaty. So it is a commodity. It is a revenue generation model for the country." Same thing was replicated by Thailand, Malaysia. Many of our boys and girls they went there. Why? Because it is 1 year. But then when they go there and do that degree, and they start, which they have to take into account. And therefore, this kind of revision in terms of equivalence and duration is okay. But tomorrow we have to also think in terms of equivalence and some other country. 2 years of master's program, and no student goes there. What is going to happen to the student? Germany, 2 years of master's program. So, one student go there with 1 year master's degree, what will happen? And the issue is deliberated and discussed. And unless we as a teacher discuss, deliberate, and bring it to the notice of the decision makers and policy makers, this issue will not have its solutions. Therefore, we have to see that while we are preparing for implementation of the NEP 2020, we also have to see that the root level issues they have to be thought of, they have to be brought up, and they have to be shared with the decision makers and planners so as to make sure that the policy is implemented with better respect. That is the main objective. Let us not think anything negative about implementation, but think critically and then see if there are challenges there have to be placed. And these kinds of challenges simply search for, so that with this particular it will be possible for all of us to search for these root level issues and challenges, and then we will search for the solution to these kinds of challenges. I have just quickly given you some kind of good. I have also to go back and take you that already I have delayed. But then maybe some other occasion if there is some opportunity, I can discuss and deliberate at greater details. But as I told you that there are issues in terms of research-based university, research-based institution, teaching institutions, then degree awarding. These are difficult classifications. I have not gone into the governance structure of how the new structure at the national level will be governing the higher education to one body, etc., etc. There are issues with it. There is no aspect, any kind of guidance through this particular NEP 2020 for health education and law. Law and medical, there is no inclusion in the policy. That also is being discussed and deliberated at national level, because we do not know how to go about reducing academic type of credit. We can choose. We can choose is possible now with the ICT structure. But for the other streams, we can choose is not possible. And therefore, some kind of provisions which we are making, with the, without disturbing any kind of regulatory structure. Because agency DCI was very stringent for it, and never into any political pressure or any kind of pressure, and therefore they want to ensure that the basic competencies are students there again, and at some point of time they should be diluted. Therefore, accordingly, they will think, and therefore there is so much of inclusion of health component, law component into the policy. These two streams are to be thought of, maybe some rejoinder or maybe at some kind of guideline is issued for some time, and then it will be possible. The government structure will totally undergo change. There will be no UGC, there will be no AICT, there will be no this council, that council. But then the implementation of this itself is a big challenge because of the diversity. And therefore, one issue cannot be all. We have to see that the diversity is also taken into consideration. So, what is the component which is common for all this diversity? What is the component that is different for the faculty specific implementation program that also needs to be clearly spelled out? And secondly, the students will have ability to choose some types of courses for academic background, for accumulating, and then once he becomes, once he attains some kind of, I would say that number of credit that he accumulates, if he accumulates making specialty 70% of the credits, then he can go across any faculty and 30 credits, 30% credit. Good provision, guy from medical, if he has some kind of inclination for music, why he should be deprived of that? If this policy is which we have already made provision in NEP. Because we have a large number of girls from medical college, they come from dance, certificate course, diploma course, they are interested, and they participate, which we are very happy. They are made, you can say, broader in their thought process, and therefore those kinds of provisions are there, and then accordingly think, and therefore our liberals have become more popular in the medical level and space. It is very important to impact, and we are able to compare them with this kind of flexibility as a university. We will hope to see that in the months and days to come, there will be some practical solutions are prevailing in terms of the. But make sure that there is a way how to do every possible effort in terms of whatever program, whatever ADC, credits that we are offering, either or forwardability, the provisions are made practically right from board of studies to faculty to academic to board of management. This part has to be followed. Then because otherwise in NAC they will ask for regulation. Show me the circular, show me the disability, all these like that. This is also very important. I'm sure that all this will be done. I must again thank Dr. Chair for providing me an opportunity to be here. Although I spoke extensively a lot of other things which are very important, and I have a big presentation about it. Maybe I will say sometime later. And again, I wish you all the success with this particular workshop. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your enlightening words. Now I would like to request Dr. Roshani to conclude the thanks.
to one and all. Distinguished dignitaries and visitors. Gives me immense pleasure to extend my vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. We are gathered here today to celebrate a major milestone in the history of education in our country. The National Education Policy 2020 is a vision that seeks to transform the educational landscape of our nation. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Savitribai University for providing funding for this NEP workshop. I take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. E.J. Sawant, Founder Secretary of JSPM, for granting us permission to organize this workshop. My heartfelt thanks to our JSPM directors, Dr. Aris and Mr. Anil for their support and motivation. I would also like to express my gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. N.J. Pawar, Vice Chancellor of Dr. Innagration, for accepting our invitation and gracing the inaugural function with his presence. We are all inspired by your words of wisdom. I am also grateful to Dr. Innagration, Director of Excellency Academy, for attending the inauguration function. My sincere thanks to our directors, Dr. Mr. Ravi Sawant and Mrs. for their unwavering support. I would also like to express my gratitude to Dr. R.P. Jain, Director of RSCA, for his continuous support and advice which helped in the successful organization of the two-day workshop on NEP. I extend my sincere thanks to Professor Elizabeth, Vice Principal, for his immense support and cooperation. My special thanks to Dr. N.J. Pawar, Dr. Nipul Sutale, Dr. Dilip Deshmukh, Mr. Atul Vadivapur, Mr. Hemant Gargi, and Mr. Atul Bengiri for accepting our invitation to deliver this session on video. I am thankful to Dr. E.B. Kumar of Computer Engineering Department for his meaningful guidance, support, and encouragement during the organization of this event. I express my gratitude to the coordinators of this workshop, Dr. Sunil Sangre, Professor Avinash Kolante, and Professor Shabana Pizzari for their dedicated efforts in organizing this event. I express my gratitude to the heads of departments and deans of RSCA for their timely support and cooperation. I also thank the professors and faculty members for gracing the function with their presence. Finally, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to all the participants who took out time for their busy schedule to be with us today. We are fortunate to have 70+ participants from various academic colleges and industry across the country. Your presence has made this event a memorable one. Once again, I thank all the dignitaries and attendees for gracing this occasion with their presence. I hope we can work together to realize the vision of the National Education Policy 2020. My thanks to the organizing committee members for their tireless efforts in making this agenda manifest. Without their dedication and hard work, this event would not have been possible. Thank you all very much.
Okay, thank you.
Participants are now to have 5 minutes break and then we'll start with the session 2. And participants are requested to have a break at 5 minutes to come back. You will have done the registration. Participation will be after the registration.